Well, I shouldn't be here in front of you today. Before I was born, my mom was expecting me and my twin, but my dad was really abusive. And as a result to his abuse, my twin died before birth. Later on, when I was 3, doctors found skin cancer on the back of my head. Had to have surgery for that. When I was in 2nd grade, doctors found a bone tumor on my neck. Had to have that removed. That same year, my mom was realizing up to that point that I wasn't hitting certain milestones physically as other kids my age were. So she took me to Children's Medical Center in Dallas, Texas. And they ran a few tests on me, and they found that around the same time that my twin died in utero, I had suffered a massive stroke, equivalent to somebody with cerebral palsy. And I shouldn't be able to walk or talk, read, write, anything like that. And doctors said that I wouldn't be able to use my left hand. But another doctor said that I could.
God had plans for those 2 hands right there.
Exactly. And a few weeks ago, I had my first seizure. Doctors were amazed that I hadn't had one up to that point because of my stroke and how much of the brain was affected by it. They were amazed that I hadn't had one up to this point. But doctors said that I would have to be on medication for the rest of my life. And I'm going to be honest with you. I cried when I found that out. And I questioned God, and I said, why another thing like this? Why would you allow something like this to happen to me again? I'm going to tell you right now, in life, bad things are going to happen. And that's how life is. And we're going to ask why, but we don't need to know why. All we need to do is trust God. I am a living example of how God can work miracles in somebody's life. I shouldn't be here in front of you. I'm so blessed to be able to travel with some of the best people in gospel music. I love these guys right here. And this is off the cuff, but people have asked me at the table, what is it like to travel with Scott Fowler and Scott Howard? And I'll just say that it's sort of like taking an extended vacation with your grandparents.
Have you enjoyed JT's farewell performance with Legacy 5?
Surely we're out of time, aren't we? We got to be out of time by now.
But seriously, God has been so faithful and so good in my life. And y'all did a song a while back, and y'all haven't done it in a while. And I was wondering, would it be okay if I sang it?
You sing it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Lately I've been looking back along this winding road to the old familiar markers of the mercies I have known. I know it may sound simple, but it's more than a cliche. There's no better way to tell you than to say, God's been good in my life. I feel blessed beyond my wildest dreams when I go to sleep each night. Though I've had my share of hard times, sure I'd change them if I could, but through it all, God's been good. Times replay and I can see that I've cried some bitter tears. And I have. But I felt his arms around me as I faced my greatest fears. You see, I've had more gains than losses, and I've known more joy than hurt, as his grace fell down upon me undeserved. God's been so good in my life. I feel blessed beyond my wildest dreams when I go to sleep each night. And though I've had my share of hard times, sure I'd change them if I could, but through it all, God's been good. For God has been my Father, my Savior and my friend. His love was my beginning, and His love will be my end. I could spend forever trying to tell you everything He is. But the best way that I can tell you is this: God's been so good in my life. I feel blessed beyond my wildest dreams when I go to sleep each night. And though I've had my share of hard times, sure I'd change them if I could, but through it all,